Welcome to another edition of How is the Rutherford County Real Estate Market? This is where we look at the real estate market for Rutherford County, Tennessee. We look back on the past week. We also look at a few regional things and some national real estate news as well. I'm John Turner. I'm the team lead with the Turner Victory team at Onward Real Estate, and I bring you this information each and every week, hopefully to educate you about the market, but also to hopefully give you some insights and some strategies whenever it comes to real estate, not only in Rutherford County, but in the entire mid-state area. So I am going to go ahead and shrink my screen right here. And if we can come over here and go ahead and look at this week, what's happening in the market. This is the week ending July 27th of 2025. If you'll come on down here, look at the bottom. We have a total of 1,576 available units at this moment. That's 116 new listings, 121 pending this week. So we had more pendings than we had new listings. We also closed 90 this week. 94 homes expired. And we've seen 451 homes over the last 3 months go under contract. Actually close in the past 3 months. And currently, across the board, we've got a 3.26 a month supply of inventory. We also break it down over here by different price ranges. If you'll notice, the below 300,000, we have about 2.5 months supply. That actually has risen a little bit. Let me remind you that anywhere below 4 months supply is considered a seller's market. Once you start getting above 4 to 6, it's more of a balanced market. You can certainly see there's strength here still in the 300 to 400,000s. The 4 to 500 has risen a little bit, but it's pretty even with the 5 to 6. So that, as far as month supply goes, so that's pretty interesting. We also saw a big influx of pending homes over $1 million worth. That actually occurred mostly in the Southern Harmony, the new Del Webb community out there. And what has happened is just there's several new builds that are under contract that they put into the system this week. So whenever we go look at our charts, new listing charts this week, you can see we're about where we were last year. We have not seen a whole lot of difference, except there's about 4 weeks here where we saw a little bit of a rise. But besides that, we've pretty much mimicked what we did last year. Our month supply, whenever we look at that, we're at 3.26. So we've risen actually over the past 3 weeks. We were down to 3.02. This time last year, we were about 2.39. So nearly a month's more supply on the market than we had this time last year. Let's look at our pending chart. Our pendings actually have exceeded what we did last year. Last year there were 115 pendings. This year 121. We were up over the past couple of weeks. As a matter of fact, this is a high going back to, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got to go back 10 weeks to see anything higher. So that's a good trend. We feel like we may still see another week of climbing. We'll see. But if this trend continues, I would expect there to be somewhere between 130 and 140 pendings coming up this week. So if you're a seller and you're not priced where you need to be priced, you might want to think about doing that really quickly. Available inventory chart. This thing just continues to grow. We're at 1,576. Which is up, I believe it was 27% maybe from this time last year. I'll have to go back and look at my notes on that. The other chart that we like to look at is our pending percentage chart. So we have actually seen an increase over the past couple of weeks of the percentage of homes that are actually on the market that went under contract. This is significant. You know, it's hard to reach these numbers in the tens because, remember, we had a lot less inventory then. So even for the same pendings, that was a higher percentage of the market. So it will be interesting to see how this trend continues. But it does appear that we're really, the market is a little slow right now, but it's healthy. And that's the interesting thing about it. Let's look at some interesting information here. Whenever we look for Rutherford County, how many homes have had a price cut? 38% of all homes on the market right now in Rutherford County have had a price cut. If you compare that to Murfreesboro, 40% of the homes in Murfreesboro have had a price cut. So more homes in Murfreesboro City than in Rutherford County. We take this over Smyrna. Only 35% of the homes in Smyrna have had a price cut. Let's look a little bit of information from Zillow. This heading right here is Zillow updates home price forecast for over 400 housing markets. So this is how Zillow thinks prices are going to work out over the next year. So that's between June 2025 and June 2026. Interesting here. Most of their home appreciation, number one is Atlantic City, and they only think there's going to be 2.9% appreciation. Traditionally in Middle Tennessee, we have seen about a 5% appreciation. So the upper end of what Zillow's predicting is actually a couple of percentage points lower than our average. So that I find that interesting. Another interesting thing here at number 3, you've got Knoxville. So Knoxville still remains a very healthy market. If you care about the bottom feeders here, they're thinking corporate. Actually, number 1 right up here. I'm reading this wrong. You got Louisiana. Look at the top 6 are in Louisiana. They're predicting anywhere between a 6.5% to nearly 10% decrease in prices there. Let's go over here. I want to go to this interactive chart. It's the same chart you see there, but this interactive chart. Where are they predicting for the Nashville area? Now remember, Nashville includes Murfreesboro and Franklin. They are predicting that we are going to see a 1.2% decrease in home prices. That will help with a little bit of affordability with buyers, so that's not a bad thing. And for sellers, if you've had your house for a while, you're not going to feel a 1% decrease that much. Where it may hurt you is if you bought your house since the mid-2022, because we have not seen the home appreciation that we saw during the COVID years. So if you bought your house within the past couple of years and you're going to need to sell it, if this prediction holds up, it certainly could spell a little tough time for you selling your home. So that's what we've got right now. It is interesting. Pendings are up this year over last year, or at least this week they are. We will continue to monitor that. Next week, we will look at new construction versus existing homes. There's a report that's come out saying that builders are really pulling back on new construction right now, which, as our supply is getting up, you would think, well, that's a good thing. The problem is this comes on the heels of a report that came out a couple of weeks ago that said we are actually undersupplied, not only in the Nashville area. I think they said 90,000 units below in the Nashville area, and several million below across the U.S. And I get the question all the time, well, if that's the case, then why do we see homes sitting? Well, it comes back to an affordability issue. There's a lot of demand for homes, but maybe not as much, as many people can afford it. So that's where we see a lot of people right now maybe living with a relative, trying to save money, and hoping that maybe affordability gets a little bit better because they are sitting right on the sidelines. The average mortgage rate this week, 30-year mortgage rate, was 6.74%. It was down slightly from last week. We still think that magic number is about 6%. If and when we hit 6%, I think we will see a huge influx of buyers into the market. So that's going to be an interesting thing to watch. When are we going to hit that? I don't know. I get asked that all the time, and I just really can't predict that. So hope this information helps you. We enjoy bringing it to you every week here on our YouTube channel. Please take the time to subscribe. We appreciate you doing that and tuning in. If you have a real estate need, whether you're a buyer, a seller, an investor, we'd love to help you. So reach out to myself or my wife, Tracy Turner, or any one of the members of the Turner Victory team. We love using these stats to be able to look at the market and help form a strategy to help you get where you want to go. Thanks again for tuning in, and I hope you make it a great week, and we'll be back with you next week. Thank you.